with Karen Wells, our interior designer with A&B Home Staging.
Yes.
And she does a ton of homes for us. And she gets out there and basically spends about hour and a half with the clients. And we just wanted to kind of bring you in today. We got this new little studio set up, so we wanted to bring you in. And actually, she's working right now on this office. Next time you see, you're not in the next time, but when you see this wall in the near future, it's going to have barnwood and some cool stuff. So let's jump right into it and just talk about the importance of staging and then adding value. So I want to kind of talk about two things: getting your house ready for sale, which everybody likes to know as well. But then, if we want to spend some money in our home, what are some of the cool trends and stuff like that? So I'm going to share a couple pictures, and we can talk a little bit about that. But go ahead and mention some of the things like getting their house ready for sale. Like the first one's up is an exterior picture. So,
well, the exterior is obviously the first impression. So we want to make that be the best. So we always tell people, make sure your porches are swept off, the cobwebs are out of the ceilings and whatnot. And most people do tend to drive by the home, I think, first before they want to see the inside to see if they like the neighborhood, that type of thing. So make sure everything is perfect on the outside as on the inside.
As an agent, like when we pull up to a house, if the front door has cobwebs and it's not swept off, I mean, you immediately think when you get inside this house, it's not going to be well cared for as well. So that's real important. And what about like decorating to the season? I see this one has pumpkins, and
I tend to advise not to do that in case there is an overlap in time.
Sure.
I was online looking the other day, and the people had a Christmas tree, and it's like, oh, it's almost been on the market for a year. What's the matter with the home? Why is it not selling if we still have Christmas decorations up?
Absolutely. And to go along with that, if we don't usually have a home that has green grass and then it's got snow, but if we do have that first snow, we'll send out the photographer and get that first layer of snow in the picture. So your mind, I don't know what it is, but your mind just says green grass and it's snowing outside. You just feel like it's been on forever.
Right.
So there's some other pictures. So this is one you did also.
Yep. This is a beautiful home, and mostly it is decluttering. People don't realize how much they accumulate over time, and you want your potential buyer to see the home, not your stuff.
Right.
And the less opinions they can form on your stuff, the better off sometimes we are. So clean the countertops off, clean your refrigerators off and everything. Make that eye flow, just flow through and notice the beauty of the kitchen as opposed to clutter.
And I like when you did our house, you talked about the fruit basket, which you'll see here coming up on some other kitchens, and even just the color of that green. I'm not sure if that was their idea or yours, but that's, I love the clean look. I just love that,
with the little pop of color.
Yes.
And that's what fruit does. I mean, people look at you and think you're nuts, but it's like a fruit bowl photographs lovely. It always just adds that pop of color.
You'll definitely see that here in a minute. And then obviously, like the professional photography, it's not like we use trick photography. It's just professional photography. So you can tell just in these pictures, that it's a big, I mean, the guys that with the nice cameras that know what they're doing can make a big difference.
Oh, most definitely.
When that's what gets them in the home. And then I'm always describing that, like, after you've looked at this home, what do? You go out to dinner, you get your phone back out, you're thumbing through, like, oh yeah, look how nice that bathroom was.
Yeah.
It might not look as good with professional lighting and all that in person, but that's what you're remembering is that picture when you're out to dinner, comparing it to the other house that doesn't have professional photography and isn't staged. So like in a bathroom, I mean, what are some of the things?
Bathrooms are basically, we don't want to look at toilet brushes. We don't want to look at plungers or your trash or whatever, your toothbrushes, all of the things, put them away. As I tell people, for photos and showings, how you live every other day of the week, I don't care.
Right.
For photos and showings, it's recommended that we get rid of that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
So we always do take a peek at the bathtub and see if, it needs caulking or anything like that. Those things make a world of difference.
Big difference. Back to that maintenance thing. Like if if the tub needs caulk or the grout is nasty or whatever, the perception of the person who's looking at it, especially like the agent that sees 100 homes and then they're relaying it to the client, like this house is either well cared for or these people, it's not well cared for, which then makes you question the furnace maintenance, the roof maintenance, if they're going to bubble gum fix a leaky roof or if they're going to take care of it.
Right.
All that goes hand in hand. So this is another one that you helped lay out.
Yeah. That was it was a hard room. The dimensions of the room, it was hard to figure out how to make it all work, but they did a great job of following the instructions and getting it done.
And I always tell people, as what you just said is, I said, she's going to give you a big laundry list, and I said, I let them off the hook a little bit. I say, if they can follow 95% of everything on that list, I said, it's going to look like this. And everybody, knock on wood, I'm trying to think of anybody that hasn't, but everybody takes that list and they do a great job.
They do. It's amazing. I always go back and look at the photos when they come, and it's like, oh, they did that.
Yes,
and, pretty much you can go through and see that they've done everything that you've recommended.
There's the fruit basket. So clean countertops.
Yep. I always say, coffee pots, knife blocks, those are, you don't want it so barren that it looks unused and not
like
lived in
an apartment.
Exactly. So, just the few items here and there is all you need.
Yep. This next one shows, not always do we take pictures of closets, and definitely don't always take pictures of garages or unfinished basements and whatnot, but you'd be surprised at the person's mentality that's shopping that sees an organized closet or an organized garage. It's not their clothes. They're not organized people.
No.
But you like to buy a house from somebody who's organized, and even if the next day when you move in, it's crazy.
But no, I say people, another thing that they look at you like you're crazy when you say color coordinate your clothes. When you have that easy eye flow, it makes people feel good about what they're looking at rather than everything everywhere.
I mean, the residential housing is an emotional decision. It's not buying a commercial building or investing. It's you have to feel good, in these homes. And there's something I always joke around with the guys about, if the client you're walking through ever sits down in the house with you, it's because they feel comfortable and they're starting to feel like this could work. And even if I've had it this way too, where a buyer will buy a home because it was decorated awesome, and you have to kind of remind them that you better find out where these decorations are from, because you don't have all these cool decorations. So but organized closets, highly recommend it. Hopefully we're not showing somebody's underwear drawer or something here. But you can see even from this picture, it shows, it just kind of makes the house feel organized. There's another one you did. This was downtown Grand Rapids. Just go ahead and talk
this was a real cute little house. And again, their furnishings, we had a lot to work with. They had great, little accessories, and all of her stuff worked very well in there, and I can guarantee you that's what got people into the house.
And this particular house went for over full price, I'm trying to remember. And that's another thing, why this is also important in clients filling or doing your suggestions is, in the competitive market, we're coming a little bit out of that super competitive market, but doesn't matter if the house looks really good online, you follow those directions, you're going to get close to full price, and sometimes in the hot market over full price, and get people fighting for it. So,
no, this was a cute little house.
And this was the kitchen of that one.
And we recommended, I don't think they had that table on that wall at the time, and we thought, well, what a great, because it was a smaller home.
Right.
Put a little bar top table there, and I think he might have put it on the wall.
Okay.
But just a great, again, pop of color.
I know.
Whether it's a bowl of fruit or some flowers or whatever, it all worked.
So those are like the staging things and whatnot. What about do you dabble much with the if you want to improve a home, if you want to spend some money I'm doing two things at once here. If you can't tell, I'll stop. There we go. If you want to improve your home, you have $5,000 to put into it, $2,000 to put into it, $10,000, $20,000 to put into it. What are some of the first places that people should put in their home? And I can help with this on the sale side, but like from your interior, what's some of your cheapest improvements?
Well, least expensive improvements or getting the most bang for your buck is always, the best way to go about it. But I do think kitchens, bathrooms, master bedrooms are what people look at.
Sure.
And type of thing.
When you did our house, this was going back a few years, you had us put in a new floor, and I was giving you a little resistance on that. And I'm like, we're selling. I'm not going to put in a new floor. This floor is fine. Well, we had hardwood carpet and a couple weird transitions, and you said just do the whole floor, main floor, hard surface. And like I say, I gave you a little resistance on it. You and my wife tagged up, and we ended up doing it. But it ended up being awesome. You know, and
well, in trends, you talk about trends. I mean, a trend is people really don't like carpet too much anymore. You know, they want the hard surfaces throughout. They're easier to clean. You don't get the traffic patterns like you do with carpet and that type of thing. So, that part does.
Like colors, like what type of colors are popular right now? It's been, the grays have been really hot for a while.
Grays have been here for a while, and I think that they're going to stay for a while. I really do. But I think they're trying to incorporate more brown. The brown tones and beige tones are coming back.
Okay, because we were heavy on those for quite a while. So and then we got to the grays, so we're already kind of mixing in a little bit.
But I think you find here in West Michigan, it takes a while for everything to get to us. And then it takes a while for people to jump on board.
Right.
And then, so it expands that trendy time a little bit further. Because it takes a
while. Trying to think of any other, like kitchens, like you had mentioned, kitchens and baths. If you're going to put $5,000, $10,000 into something, those are the best spots to put the money in. Especially if you're going to be there for a while and enjoy it yourself.
Right. And most people's comment after they do it is, why didn't we do this 10 years ago?
That floor we put in, I'm like, I lived this way for 13 years. We could, that's usually
but exterior also, if you put some money into, I say exterior with landscape or mulch, you don't have to put 6 inches of mulch, but you can put it down and get it looking spruced up.
Great point. Yeah, we have Emerald Landscapes does a lot of our prep for getting homes ready, cleanups and whatnot. And it's amazing. Back to some of the pictures that it looked okay. I mean, in a normal sense, you'd say this is a cared for home, but then you spend $500 to $1,000 on somebody coming and putting mulch down and whatever is a big difference, huge difference. So.
Weeding and just getting that exterior looking. Power washing is huge. 9 times out of 10, you say to a client, power wash, whether it's the driveway, the sidewalk, the house, whatever.
You reminded me why I like to send you in, because I'm like, I look around and I know back before we were working with you, I'd be the one that bring all that bad news up. Now you get to bring up.
That's why I say that's why you hire me. I get to be the bad dog.
She earns the money. She earns the money and says, "You're gonna have to clean this. You're gonna have to clean this." I was thinking it, but Karen gets to say it.
But it's funny because when you live in your house, you don't realize your vents, your return registers, how dusty they get. Whoever really thinks about cleaning those
blinds,
but all of those. A clean house, I always tell everybody, clean houses sell way better than dirty houses.
Yep, and that's very true. Very true.
People can't look past that.
Yeah, and then like say it's an emotional purchase. So people are like, even if they're not the clean freak, they're buying a clean freak house and they feel good about that. And that will help them get an extra few thousand. And I have been able to earmark from staging. I would say anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 that we got extra, if that was because we started a bidding war or if that's because it just was that nice. So that's why we, use home staging in every listing. So
yeah.
Well, thanks for stopping in and looking forward to where this goes. We got some cool stuff in here she's going to do for us, and we'll invite her back in every couple months, see what the latest trends are, what's going on. We just got done looking at the parade of homes. That was fun.
Yes.
and we'll do that once a year as well, and have Karen keep us on track with what's cool and trendy out there. Appreciate it.
Alrighty, thank you.
Yes, thanks.